Melissa, Be Lightful Bee Company, and I wanted to show how to do a simple alcohol wash, which is the most accurate way to count your Varroa mites. I'm trying to get a baseline on this hive. I'm trying to be better basically at checking for Varroa, because it is a little intimidating to do this. So I'm just pouring rubbing alcohol into my regular old cup here, plastic cup, and then I have a cup that I created with a screen bottom that I just use staples to put in. I'm going to fill this with bees, and hopefully like nurse bees, which are the ones to really carry the Varroa. And then I will submerge them in the alcohol. And unfortunately, when you do this, you do kill the bees. But for the overall health of the hive, it's the best way to go. Having accurate knowledge of how many Varroa you have throughout the year is a major responsibility of beekeepers these days. So it really is something that is strongly recommended that we do, not only for our bees, but for neighboring bees, bees in the wild even. So I'm going to collect about 300 nurse bees in here, and then I'm going to put them in here. They're going to drown, and then I'm going to swoosh this around, and it dislodges the Varroa mites. They land on the bottom of this cup, and then I can count them. It's really that simple. The only thing for us is that it's kind of emotional, because killing bees is something that I rescue bees out of my pool all the time, and I blow dry them with my breath, so like I don't want to kill any bee ever. But again, if you're thinking about the super colony of it, if you're thinking about the health of these 30,000 bees, give or take, you're just taking a blood draw. You can think of it that way. You're just taking a blood draw of 300 bees. If you think about it, bees live 5 weeks, the worker bees. So 1,000 bees are born every day in a hive. 1,000 bees die every day in a hive. This is not really damaging the colony. It's for the benefit of the colony. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a middle frame out. I've already been messing with them today, so they're a little bit not 1,000% happy right now, but who can blame them? Excuse me. So hopefully I'm pulling out a frame with brood, not just resources. This one does have brood. Not a ton of brood, but good enough. And then obviously I just make sure my queen is nowhere to be found on the frame that I'm taking the bees off of. So in this instance, I'm going to look 2, 3, 4 times at every quadrant and every angle of the frame, top to bottom, crevices along the side. For the queen, if I see her, I'm going to set this aside, and that's actually helpful because I'll know where she is, and I won't accidentally drown her in alcohol. Can you imagine? Oh my God. God forbid that's ever a mistake I make, because I generally make all the mistakes that you can imagine. All right, so no, I don't see the queen anywhere. She was up here earlier, so This is why I'm making double, triple, quadruple check. Just roaming around with my eyes, looking for any telltale signs. She's blonde. She's a creamy colored long bee, and no, I do not see her. So I'm going to take the side that has the most nurse bees on it, the most brood really, so therefore the most nurse bees. And I'm going to do this process. Ooh, I hope you can see all of this. Yes, you kind of can, right? So I go like this. The bees fall in. And then, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I'm drowning them right now. I know it's really hard to imagine this, but they're already gone. It's not like they suffer. And like I said, I need more than this, so I'm going to do it again. Right here I have, I don't know, maybe not even 100, so. Oh, it's a painful process. Ay, ay, ay. All right, flipping this over. Checking again for the queen. Oh, beautiful bees. They're taking one for the team right now. Okay, there's definitely like 100 bees here. I'm supposed to have 300 bees, a half a cup of bees. Oh, ay, ay. I think that's all I can handle doing. That's gonna have to be it. I can't handle doing more than that. Ugh. Okay, so sorry for all your sister bees that I just axed. Very sorry. Okay, I did it. Oh, I hate doing that. Now, I'd like to close them back up again before I swoosh these bees, but here's what you can see. The bees are in. I'm going to move this to where you can see it better. So the bees, is probably maybe 200 bees in here. So what I'm going to do now is swish them. A few more bees are falling in. So you just swish it around, kind of vigorous, one way and the other. So all the bees are moving. And this dislodges mites on them. And you have to do this for a little while. They say 30 seconds, but I'm going to do it longer than that. And I can already see Varroa at the bottom. So there you go. Ooh. You can also see here, you can reuse this whole cup thing, and you can see that it is, you don't have to buy the $20 one online or at the bee store to get this kind of accurate count. Okay. some people really shake them like in a jar, but this is the Randy Oliver method of just gently, not gentle, actually it's pretty vigorous, but you just swirl them. Okay. I don't want any of them stuck on the bottom. They do get stuck on the screen. Some of them down there. Okay, one more swirly swirl. Trying to get all the mites off of every bee in here. Mites do live on the bees, but they really prefer to be in the capped brood. So this is an underestimation of how many bees are actually in the hive. If you see, let's say this is 200 bees, so if I see more than 4 Varroa on 200 bees, then I need to think about a treatment method. Alright, let me see what I have. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I count 11. Is that right? Wait. No, 10. There's 10. Oh, one is still moving. Jesus. Criminy. Wow. So 10. So yeah, that was really good that I did that. See, I assumed that they just had a brood break recently and it would be a lower count. But you know, if you do these regular checks, then you're going to know for sure. So it's always good to do these. And I'm as hesitant as anybody else to put this in my schedule and actually do it. But this is really good to do. So now I can take the bees out, dump them. The ants will recycle them. And I'm just dumping them out. One last one is stuck there. There she goes. All right, so I dumped it out, right? And I can reuse this water. I mean, it's not water, it's alcohol. So I don't have to constantly be buying bunches of this alcohol either. This is a very inexpensive method here. So I'm just pouring it back in the bottle, except at the end where the mites are, because I don't want to end up counting them again in the next wash. So, get all the mites out of there. What's that one? That's not a mite. What is that? Okay, and the mites, just so you know, they're like a rusty brown color, and they have a shine to them when you're looking at them on the bottom board, and when you see them in here, they just look like little sesame seeds. They're basically the size of a toasted sesame seed, and the look. So that's it. I just put this away for the next time, and that's as simple as it gets. Thank you very much for watching how to do the alcohol wash for Varroa mites, and we'll see you next time from Be Lightful Bees.